Chiefs, $44. And D-Man is in. D-Man. And D-Man taking down the Chiefs. All right, guys, long awaited. Let's get ready to break. I apologize for the camera. It is all the way zoomed out, but we will do our best to make sure you can see everything. All right, we got Alec Pierce with the Colts. We got Rome Odunze with the Bears. We got a nice Jackson Dart with the Giants. Devonta Smith with the Eagles. We got Drake London with the Pink. We got DJ Giddens with the Colts. And we got Justin Fields with the Turbocharged and Eagles. All right. Ricky Pearsall with the Niners. Joe Burrow with the Bengals. We got CeeDee Lamb with the Cowboys. Jaden Daniels with the Commanders. We got Jalen Royals with the Chiefs and the Pink. DJ Moore and Tyler Warren with the Colts. Matthew Golden and the Packers. Kareem Hunt with the Chiefs. Chris Boswell, Steelers. Jalen Hurts with the Pink. We got an auto here. First box auto. Asante Samuel Jr.
There you go.
Asante Samuel Jr. with the auto. That's the first time I've ever pulled his card, actually. Very nice, very nice. Congratulations. We got Myles Garrett and the Browns, and then we got Myles Garrett and the Browns again. Auto on the very first box. Let's get it, guys. All right. Nick Emenworry with the Seahawks. Jerry Jeudy and the Browns. We got Nico Collins and the Texans. And then we got Kyle Murray and the Cardinals. Javonte Williams with the Pink Shock. And Trey McBride with the Cardinals. And Tyler Warren with the Colts and the certified or select certified. We got James Pierce Jr., Jalen Lane and the Commanders. We got Derek Harmon. 402 out of 60 out of 699. 402 out of 699. All right, moving right along. Good first box here. Harrison Smith and the Vikings. We got Luther Burden and the Pink Shock. We got Jonathan Taylor and the Pink. We got Alvin Kamara with the Saints and Robinson with the Turbocharged and the Falcons. TJ with the Colts. Caleb Williams and the Bears. Jalen Milroe and the Seahawks. Ray Davis and the Bills with the Pink Shock. We got Jalen Waddle and the Dolphins and Omari Hampton with the Chargers. Kamaya would be going. Did I say the wrong name? Probably. Oh, could be going to Denver. Okay. Tariq Hill with the Dolphins. Tony Pollard with the Titans. Dante Thornton Jr. and the Raiders. Brian Thomas Jr. and the Pink Shock. We got Cam Chancellor and the Pink. Mr. Woolen and the Seahawks. And Elijah Arroyo with the Seahawks and the Select Certified. Pretty good first box. Auto and a green. Already. Brashard Smith and the Chiefs. David Carr and the Texans. I apologize. We got Caleb Johnson and the Steelers. Caleb Johnson and the Steelers. Kendre Miller and the Pink Shock. And Jonah with the Dolphins. And Ashton Genty with the Select Certified. And the Raiders. Kyle McCord and the Eagles. Tyler Warren and the Colts. Justin Fields and the Jets. Quinn Ewers with the Dolphins. Tyler Shug with the Saints. Jeffrey Simmons with the Titans. And Cam Ward with the Titans as well. Alfred Collins and the Niners. Demetrius Knight and the Bengals. Thomas with the Jets. We got Evan Brown and the Cardinals. Terrell Owens and the Eagles. Jaden Reed and the Packers. And Jonathan Taylor with the Colts turbocharged. AJ Green and the Bengals. Tyler Shug and the Saints. We got Tommy Malloy or Malott. He is 308 out of 399. 308 out of 399. Not bad there. RJ Harvey and the Broncos. We got Cam Ward and the Pink Shock. Patrick Mahomes and Travis Hunter. We got Cam Ward and the Titans again. Josh Jacobs and the Packers. Tyler Warren and the Colts. Jordan Addison with the Pink. Savion Williams and the Pink with the Packers. We got Robinson with the Falcons. And Kyle McCord with the Eagles and the Select Certified. Josh Simmons and the Chiefs. Julio Jones and the Falcons. Saquon Barkley and the Eagles. Jack Beck with the Raiders and the Pink. Spencer Cattler with the Pink. Marshawn Lattimore with the Commanders. And J.J. McCarthy with the Vikings. Give me 1 second here while I move some cards for me. Little housekeeping. All right, moving on to the third box. Gundre Miller and the Saints. Quinn Ewers, Dolphins. Evan Brown and the Cardinals. Benjamin Morrison, Bucks. And Cole Met with the Bears. Aaron Jones and the Vikings, and TJ Watt with the Steelers. Jordan Addison and the Vikings. We got Jack Beck and the Raiders. We got Borealis with the Patriots. A-Train with the Dolphins. Barry Sorrell with the Packers. Tommy Millott with the Raiders. And Travis Hunter with the Jags and the Turbocharged. All right, we got Drake London and the Falcons. We got Jaden Daniels and the Commanders. Jake Ferguson and the Cowboys. Michael Williams and the Niners. We got Bashul Tootin with the Swatch. Kyle Pitts and Jack Beck with the Raiders. Sorry, I didn't know what was going on with canceled. Oh, you're fine. I guess it didn't set up. It got canceled. It got canceled. Brian Thomas Jr. and the Jags. Luther Burden with the Bears. Woody Marks and the Texans. We got Trey Benson with the Cardinals. Jamar Chase and the Bengals. Then we got Ja'Cory Merritt and Matthew Golden with the Packers. Yeah. Jalen Milroe and the Seahawks. Javonte Williams and the Cowboys. We got Tyleek Williams and the Lions. And he is 126 out of 699. 126 out of 699. Nice. All right. Ty Felton and the Vikings. Harrison Butker and the Chiefs. We got Travis Jr. and the Jags. And Nico Collins with the Titans. Or Texans, I apologize. Texans. All right, Benjamin Morrison and the Bucks. We got A-Train and the Dolphins. We got Jamian Sherwood and the Jets. Jackson Dart and the Giants. Jacoby Myers. Colston Loveland with the Bears. And DK Metcalf with the Steelers. Chuba Hubbard and the Panthers. Tremere with the Titans. Jared Goff and the Lions. Travis Hunter and the Jags with the Pink Shock. Garrett Wilson and the Jets. We got Justin Jefferson and the Vikings, and Tyler Shug with the Saints. Malachi Starks and the Ravens. Omari Hampton and the Chargers. Trayvon Henderson and the Patriots. Josh Allen and the Bills. Myles Garrett and the Browns. Will Johnson and the Cardinals, and Jackson Smith with the Seahawks. Travion Henderson with the Patriots. Terrence Ferguson and the Rams. We got Mike Evans and the Bucks. Woolen with the Seahawks. We got a multiverse, Darren Waller, Dolphins and Giants. We will random that off at the end. We got Hunter Henry and the Patriots. And Saquon Barkley with the Eagles. Malik Neighbors with the Giants. Jalen Noel and the Texans. We got Sean McVay and the Rams. Trevor with the Panthers and the Pink Shock. We got DJ Milroe and the Bears. Tez Johnson and the Bucks. And Michael Williams and the Niners. Cortland Sutton and the Broncos. Caleb Johnson and the Steelers. Justin Herbert and the Chargers. Derek Jr. with the Texans. Sam Darnold and the Seahawks with the Pink Shock. Ashton Genty and Jackson Dart with the Select Certified and the Giants. Isaac Tesla and the Lions. Jod Barron and the Broncos. Jack Sawyer and the Steelers. Ashton Genty with the Raiders and the Pink Shock. We got DJ Giddens and the Colts with the Pink Shock. Joe Milton, Cowboys, and Abdul Carter with the Giants. Give me 1 second here while I move some cards for myself. All right, new box. Hope everyone's doing good on this Monday. Hope everyone had a good weekend. Hope everyone got some good cards. We appreciate everyone here. All right. Trey Benson and the Cardinals. Ty Felton and the Vikings. Jacoby Myers and the Raiders. We got Michael Penix Jr. in the Pink Shock. Miles Sanders with the Cowboys. Elijah Aurora with the Seahawks. And Ashton Genty with the Raiders. J.J. McCarthy and the Vikings. Ashton Genty and the Raiders. Kyron Williams and the Rams. Anthony Richardson and the Colts. Quinshon Judkins and the Browns with the Pink Shock. Andrew Van Ginkel and the Vikings. And Jalen Milroe with the Seahawks. Bucky Irving and the Bucks. Drake May and the Patriots. Marvin Harrison Jr. and the Bucks. We got Jamar Gibbs and the Lions. Charles Woodson and the Raiders. We got James Conner and the Cardinals. And Trayvon Henderson with the Patriots. Michael Penix Jr. and the Falcons. Deebo Samuel and the Commanders. Christian McCaffrey and the Niners. Deebo Samuel and the Pink Shock with the Commanders. Jonah with the Dolphins and the Pink Shock. George Pickens with the Cowboys. And Abdul Carter with the Select Certified. Bayshaw Tootin and the Jaguars. Jamar Gibbs and the Lions. We got Nick Sirianni and the Eagles. Jeffrey Simmons and the Titans. Then we got Jackson Dart Swatch. Rookie Swatch. Very nice. We got Chris Godwin and the Bucks and Jalen Hurts with the Eagles. Quinshawn Judkins and the Browns. Jaden Blue and the Cowboys. Garrett Wilson and the Jets. Bayshaw Tootin and the Jags. Jaden Reed and the Packers. Tua with the Dolphins. And Derrick Henry with the Ravens. Kelvin Banks Jr. and the Saints. Christian Benford and the Bills. Tucker Kraft and the Packers. Devin Neal and the Saints. Alec Pierce and the Colts. Jaden Reed and the Packers. And Jonathan Taylor and the Colts. Nico Collins and the Texans. Jamien Sherwood and the Jets. Kyron Williams and the Rams. We got Josh Jacobs and the Packers. Byron Young and the Rams. Michael Williams and the Niners. And Brian Thomas Jr. with the Jags. Derrick Henry and the Ravens. What is that? Is that part of the card? Yeah. Sorry. Looks like something was on the card there. RJ Harvey and the Broncos. Mike Green and the Ravens. Josh Simmons and the Chiefs. Calvin Ridley and the Titans. Jamar Chase and the Bengals. And Saquon Barkley and the Turbocharged. Jordan Watkins and the Niners. We got Chase Brown and the Bengals. Troy Aikman and the Cowboys. Saquon Barkley and the Eagles with the pink prism shock. And Xavier McKinney and the Packers. Jeffrey Simmons and the Titans. And Cam Ward with the Titans. And Aaron Rodgers and the Steelers. Quinion Mitchell and the Eagles. We got Kyron Williams and the Rams. 392 out of 499. Trey Smith and the Chiefs. Then we got Zay Flowers and the Ravens. Miles Sanders and the Cowboys. And Matthew Golden and the Packers. CJ Stroud and the Texans. Mason Taylor and the Jets. We got Ray Davis and the Bills. Julio Jones and the Falcons. Derwin James Jr. and the Chargers. Jonah with the Dolphins. And Ashton Genty with the Raiders and the Select Certified. Give me 1 second here to move some more cards around. Appreciate ya. All right. Let's get another box here going for you. Man, these packs are getting tough on me again. All right, we got Jackson Dart and the Giants. Nico Collins and the Falcons. We got Jamie Sherwood and the Jets. Shadur Sanders and the Browns with the pink shock. Then we got Alvin Kamara with the pink shock. Bryce Young and the Panthers. And Jordan Love with the Packers. Kyron Williams and the Rams. Derrick Henry and the Ravens. We got Evan McPherson and the Bengals. Abdul Carter and the Giants. Mykeel Williams and the Niners. Ty Johnson and the Bills. And Puka with the Rams. Puka Nacua. All right. Justin Herbert and the Chargers. Christian Bedford and the Bills. DJ Metcalf and the Steelers. DJ Metcalf and the Steelers is 37 out of 249. Out of 249. Not bad at all. Good looking card. Color matching almost. And then we got Ahmad Membu with the Jets. Jalen Waddle, Dolphins. Travis Hunter and the Jags. And then Kyle Williams and the Patriots. Tucker Kraft and the Packers. Rashad Smith and the Chiefs. We got Mykeel Williams and the Niners. Emeka Ibuka with the Bucks. Trey McBride and the Cardinals. Ernest Jones and the Seahawks. Seahawks. And then Cam Ward and the Titans. David Carr and the Texans. Kyle McCord and the Eagles. Tyler Warren and the Colts. Stephon Diggs and the Patriots. Then we got Barrett Carter and the Bengals. Dylan Gabriel and the Browns. And Jaden Daniels and the Commanders. Justin Fields and the Jets. Alfred Collins and the Niners. We got RJ Harvey and the Broncos. Kyle with the Bears. Puka Nakua with the Rams. Cam Scatabo and Giants. And then we got TJ Watt and the Turbocharged Steelers. Trevor with the Panthers. Then we got Josh Allen and the Bills. Travis Hunter and the Jags. Jaden Blue and the Cowboys. Patrick Mahomes with the Chiefs. Geno Smith and the Raiders. And then we got A-Train with the Dolphins. Got Abdul Carter and the Giants. Then we got Emeka Ibuka with the Bucks. Travis Hunter and the Jaguars. He is 64 out of 699. Travis Hunter and the Jags. Good looking card.
Travis Hunter out of 99?
No, out of
399?
no. 699. 64 out of 699.
Nice card.
All right. Earthry with the Texans. Then we got Robinson with the Pink Shock. Josh Connolly Jr. and the Commanders, and Trey Harris with the Chargers. Just cards. Nine. Well, glad you can type again. Very nice. Very nice.
Very nice.
Sam Darnold and the Seahawks. Shadur Sanders and the Browns. Then we got Jaden Daniels and the Commanders. Bucky Irving and the Bucks. Andrew Makuba with the Eagles. Jalen Walker and the Falcons, and Ashton Genty with the Raiders. Houston, Miami, or Min. Houston, Miami, or Min. Houston, Miami. No, not yet. Wait, yes. Darren Waller with the Dolphins. We will random that off at the end. Stephon Diggs and the Patriots. Then we got Puka with the Rams. James Pierce Jr. and the Falcons. Drake May and the Patriots. Marshawn Lattimore and the Commanders. Tank Bigsby and the Jags. And then we got Trey Harris with the Chargers. Rashad Bateman and the Ravens. Kendra Smith and the Chargers. We got Geno Smith and the Raiders. Marvin Harrison Jr. and the Cardinals. Tyler Warren and the Colts. Jameson Williams and the Lions. And Jamar Chase with the Bengals. Ted McMillan and the Panthers. Dalton Kincaid and the Bills. Derrick Henry and the Ravens. Then we got Donovan Jackson and the Vikings. J.J. McCarthy and the Vikings with the pink prism. And then Harold Fanning Jr. the Browns. And Ted McMillan with the Panthers. Give me 1 second here while I move some cards around. Thank you. Thank you for being patient. Thanks for being here, guys. We appreciate every one of you. All right. Tyler Shug and the Saints. Cam Ward and the Titans. Josh Jacobs and the Packers. We got CeeDee Lamb with the Pink Shock and the Cowboys. Nick Bolton with the Chiefs. DJ Moore with the Bears. And Tyler Walker with the Colts. Tyler Warren with the Colts. Apologize. Tucker Kraft and the Packers. Bashard Smith and the Chiefs. David Carr and the Texans. Then we got Rome Odunze and the Bears. Tet McMillan and the Panthers. Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. And Travis Hunter with the Jags. Josh Simmons and the Chiefs. Julio Jones and the Falcons. Rashard Smith and the Chiefs. Jalen Milroe and the Seahawks. Tyreek Hill and the Dolphins. Woolen with the Seahawks and Elijah Arroyo with the Seahawks. Kyle McCord and the Eagles. Tyler Warren and the Colts. Tyler Booker and the Cowboys. Ricky Pearlzall with the Niners. TJ Sanders with the Bills. Robinson with the Falcons. And Kyle McCord with the Eagles and the Select Certified. Yeah. 1 second here. I can put them on display for you. It's just hard with our camera. It's all the way zoomed out, but it's like super zoomed in. And then we got an auto. There. Yeah, right. Justin Fields and the Jets. Then we got Alfred Collins and the Niners. Antonio Gates and the Chargers. Amon-Ra St. Brown and the Lions. Jalen Lane and the Commanders with the auto. Jalen Lane, Commanders, and the auto. And then we'll get those top loaded here at the end. Marshawn Lattimore and the Commander, and J.J. McCarthy and the Vikings. Demetrius Knight Jr. and the Bengals. A.J. Green and the Bengals. Mason Graham and the Browns. Joe Burrow and the Bengals with the Pink Shock. Pat Bryant with the Broncos. DJ Giddens and the Colts. And Justin Fields and the Jets with the Turbocharged. Bayshaw Titten with the Jags. Jamar Gibbs and the Lions. Quinshon Judkins and the Browns. Jared Goff and the Lions with the pink prism. Andrew Van Ginkel with the Vikings. Tyleek Williams and the Lions, and then Baker Mayfield and the Bucks. Jaden Blue and the Cowboys. Bucky Irving and the Bucks. Barrett Carter and the Bengals. Cortland Sutton and the Broncos. Omar Lott and the Chiefs. Patrick Surtain and the Broncos. And Cam Ward and the Titans with the Turbocharged. Drake May and the Patriots. Marvin Harrison Jr. and the Cardinals. Oh. We got Brian Urlacher and the Bears. Geno Smith and the Raiders. Then we got Ted McMillan with the Swatch. Then we got Will Howard and the Steelers. And Cam Ward with the Titans and the future. J.J. McCarthy and the Vikings. We got Ashton Genty and the Raiders. We got Nick Martin and the Niners. Caleb Johnson and the Steelers. Jalen Walker and the Falcons. Jackson Dart with the Giants. And Dylan Gabriel and the Browns with the Select Certified. Trevor with the Panthers. Josh Allen and the Bills. We got Carson Swissinger and the Browns. He is 39 out of 699. Or, no, I apologize. 93 out of 699. 93 out of 699.
You want to run this back?
Sure. Jackson Dart and the Giants. Then we got Jimmy Graham and the Saints. Woody Marks and the Texans. And Max Crosby and the Raiders.
He's all sleeved.
They need to be, yeah, they're all sleeved. They just need to be top loaded. All right, Hunter, Travis Hunter. Excuse me, guys. And the Jags, Sam Darnold and the Seahawks. Mason Taylor and the Jets. Montez and the Bears. We got Nico Collins and the Texans. Arian Smith and the Jets. And George Kittle with the Niners and the Supercharged. 1 second here, guys, while I move some cards around here for me. Make it a little easier.
This is the last one.
All right. Matthew Golden and the Packers. Kareem Hunt and the Chiefs. James Pierce Jr. and the Falcons. We got Jahad Barron and the Broncos. Travis Jr. and the Jags. TJ Sanders and the Bills, and Derrick Henry and the Ravens. Jalen Lane and the Commanders. TJ with the Colts. Darnell Mooney and the Falcons. We got Jack Sawyer and the Steelers. Devin Neal and the Saints. Then we got Amon-Ra St. Brown and the Lions, and Brian Thomas Jr. with the Jags and the Turbocharged. Caleb Williams and the Bears. Then we got Nick Emenworry and the Seahawks. We got Jalen Walker and the Falcons. Jalen Walker, 33 out of 249. 33 out of 249 for Jalen Walker. Then we got Mike Gesicki with the Bengals. Colston Loveland and the Bears. And Pat Bryant with the Broncos. Oh, I missed one on here. And Mikael Williams with the Niners. Jerry Jeudy and the Browns. We got Kendre Miller and the Saints. Ashton Genty and the Raiders. Malik Devers and the Giants. Elijah Arroyo with the Seahawks. Yaya Black with the Steelers. And Colston Loveland and the Bears. Then we got Jack Beck and the Raiders. Drake London and the Falcons. Quinion Mitchell and the Seahawks. We got Raquan Smith and the Ravens. Travion Henderson and the Patriots. Jaden Higgins and the Texans. And Micah Parsons with the Packers. Quinn Ewers with the Dolphins. Evan Brown and the Cardinals. Jordan Addison and the Vikings. Jalen Noel and the Texans. Cam Ward and the Titans. Then we got Brian Burns with Giants and Jackson Dart with New York. All right. Tyler Warren and the Colts. Justin Fields and the Jets. Tyler Warren and the Colts. Jake Ferguson and the Cowboys. We got Drake London and the Falcons. We got Jalen Walker and the Falcons. Ashton Genty with the Raiders and the Turbocharged. Christian Benford and the Bills. Tucker Kraft and the Packers. Demario Davis and the Saints. Jordan Addison and the Vikings. Tyreek Williams and the Lions. Andrew Van Ginkel with the Vikings, and Jalen Milroe with the Seahawks. Quinion Mitchell and the Eagles. CJ Stroud and the Texans. Mason Taylor and the Jets. Quinn Ewers and the Dolphins. Nick Scruton with the Panthers. Chris Godwin and the Bucks. And Jalen Hurts with the Eagles. Pulled a Jalen Hurts auto the other day. All right, Rashad Smith and the Chiefs. David Carr and the Texans. Kyle McCord and the Eagles. Jack Beck and the Raiders. We got Gray Zabel and the Seahawks. Geno Smith and the Raiders. And A-Train with the Dolphins. Jordan Watkins and the Niners. Chase Brown and the Bengals. Chop Robinson and the Dolphins. Evan Brown and the Cardinals. Montez and the Bears. Then we got Tua with the Dolphins. And Derrick Henry and the Ravens. Troy Aikman and the Cowboys. Then we got Kelvin Banks Jr. and the Saints. We got Harrison Smith and the Vikings. Harrison Smith and the Vikings. Number 6 out of 699. 6 out of 699. Harrison Smith. Riley Leonard and the Colts. Alec Aomanor with the Titans. James Conner and the Cardinals. And Travion Henderson with the Patriots. All right. Sorry, but I'm going to have to take these down so I can pull these boxes, or at least put one there. Yes.
A couple patches out of there so far.
Travion Henderson and the Patriots. Terrence Ferguson and the Rams. Malachi Starks and the Ravens. Aaron Rodgers and the Steelers. Joe Milton and the Cowboys. Ursley and the Texans. And Jackson Smith with the Seahawks. 1 second here, guys, while I move some cards. If you don't mind. 1 second. Thank you very much. All right, Omari Hampton. Marion Hampton with the Chargers. Then we got Chuba Hubbard with the Panthers. Got Najee Harris and the Chargers. Quinion Mitchell and the Eagles. Anthony Richardson and the Colts. Armand and the Jets. And Christian McCaffrey and the Niners. Shamir with the Titans. We got Jared Goff and the Lions. Fred Warner with the Niners. 451 out of 699. 451 out of 699. Fred Warner. And the Niners. All right. Jordan Birch and the Cardinals. Tez Johnson and the Bucks. Fred Warner and the Niners. And Malachi Starks and the Ravens. Cortland Sutton and the Broncos. Then we got Caleb Johnson and the Steelers. Rashad Bateman and the Ravens. C.J. Stroud and the Texans. Hunter Henry and the Patriots. Mike Gesicki with the Bengals. And Quinshad Judkins with the Browns. Jackson Dart and the Giants. Nico Collins and the Texans. Jamian Sherwood and the Jets. Mason Taylor and the Jets. Kyle Monagai with the Bears. Brian Urlacher and the Bears. And Travis Kelce with the Chiefs. Kyron Williams and the Rams. Derrick Henry and the Ravens. We got Chase Brown and the Bengals. Matthew Stafford and the Rams. Jordan Watkins and the Niners. Rashad Shaheed and the Saints. And Omari Hampton with the Chargers. One more second here while I move some more cards. All right. Let's see. Justin Herbert and the Chargers. Benjamin Morrison and the Bucks. Then we got A-Train and the Dolphins. We got Chase Brown and the Bengals. Will Johnson and the Cardinals. Curtis Samuel and the Bills. And Tet McMillan and the Panthers. Trey Benson and the Cardinals. Ty Felton and the Vikings. Spencer Rattler with the Saints. Troy Aikman and the Cowboys with the Pink Shock. Justin Jefferson and the Vikings. Jordan Love and the Packers. And Tet McMillan with the Panthers and the Select Certified. Jacoby Myers and the Raiders. Michael Penix Jr. and the Falcons. Got Curtis Samuel and the Bills. Ashton Genty and the Raiders with the Pink Shock. Omari Hampton and the Chargers with the rookie swatch. Trey Smith and the Chiefs. And Malik Neighbors with the Giants. I'll move some more cards here for a second. Bear with me. Oops, I'm going to go for a new box, but still got packs. Drake May and the Panthers. They got Marvin Harrison Jr. in the Bucks. We got Troy Aikman and the Cowboys. Then we got Andre with the Bengals. I know I had to have butchered that name. I apologize. Tucker Kraft and the Packers with the Pink Shock. Riley Leonard and the Colts and Will Howard with the Steelers and the Select Certified. Deebo Samuel and the Commanders. We got Bayshaw Tootin with the Jags. We got Ray Lewis and the Ravens. Then we got Kelvin Banks Jr. and the Saints. Bryce Young and the Panthers. Antonio Gates with the Chargers. And Alvin Kamara with the Saints. Quinshon Judkins and the Browns. Jaden Blue and the Cowboys. Bucky Irving and the Bucks. Christian Benford with the Bills. Nick Martin and the Niners. Jalen Carter and the Eagles. And then we got RJ Harvey and the Broncos. RJ Harvey and the Broncos. Aaron Rodgers and the Steelers. Kyle McCord and the Eagles. Cam Ward and the Titans. Kendre Miller and the Saints. Then we got George Pickens and the Cowboys. And Abdul Carter with the Giants. Evan Brown and the Cardinals. Then we got Jordan Addison and the Vikings. Geno Smith and the Raiders. Tyler Loop and the Ravens. We got Trevor with the rookie Swatch and the Panthers. Travis Jr. with the Jags. And Nico Collins with the Texans. Jaden Daniels and the Commanders. Brian Thomas Jr. and the Jags. We got Luther Burden and the Bears. Then we got Jerry Jeudy and the Browns. Michael Pittman Jr. and the Colts. We got Elijah Arroyo with the Seahawks and Ashton Genty with the Raiders. Caleb Williams and the Bears. 1 second here. All right, Nick Emenworry with the Seahawks. We've got Jerry Jeudy with the Browns. TJ with the Colts, or JT with the Colts. Kyle Williams and the Patriots. Kyle Pitts and the Falcons. And Jack Beck with the Raiders. Kendre Miller and the Saints. Then we got Quinn Ewers and the Dolphins. Evan Ingram with the Broncos. Caleb Williams and the Bears with the Pink Shock. Devontae Adams and the Rams. Ja'Cory Merritt with the Commanders. And Matthew Golden with the Packers. Jack Beck and the Raiders. Drake London and the Falcons. Then we got Marion Sorrell with the Packers. Nick Emenworry with the Pink Shock and the Seahawks. Omari Hampton and the Chargers. Colston Loveland and the Bears. And DK Metcalf and the Steelers. CeeDee Lamb and the Cowboys. Tony Pollard and the Titans. Got Aaron Rodgers and the Steelers. Terry McLaurin and the Commanders. Isaac Tesla and the Lions. Tet McMillan and the Panthers. And Caleb Johnson and the Steelers. Demetrius Knight Jr. and the Bengals. Then we got A.J. Green and the Bengals. Tyler Shug with the Saints. Rashad Bateman and the Ravens. Aaron Jones and the Vikings. Baker Mayfield and the Bucks. And Cam Scatabo with the Giants in the future. Cam Ward and the Titans. Josh Jacobs and the Packers. Michael Pittman Jr. and the Colts. Then we got Kendra Lambert Smith and the Chargers. Tommy Millott with the Raiders. And Will Campbell with the Patriots. And Shadur Sanders with the Browns and the Select Certified. Josh Simmons and the Chiefs. Julio Jones and the Falcons. Fred Warner and the Niners. Kyle Pitts and the Falcons. We got Terrence Ferguson, rookie swatch. Byron Young and the Rams. And Devontae Adams and the Rams. 1 second here while I move some cards around for me. Apologize. Stick with me here. Thank you very much, y'all. Saquon Barkley and the Eagles. Alec Pierce and the Colts. Then we got Billy Brown Jr. and the Falcons. Tet McMillan and the Panthers with the pink shock. Got Ja'Cory Merritt and the Commanders. Then we got Zay Flowers with the Ravens and Jamar Chase with the Bengals. Rome Odunze with the Bears. Ricky Pearsall with the Niners. Joe Burrow with the Bengals. Then we got Dalton Kincaid and the Bills. Ray Lewis and the Ravens. We got Derwin James Jr. and the Chargers. And Jackson Dart with the Giants. I got 2 more things of cards here that I need to move. Give me 1 more sec. All right. I'm calling a zebra out of this box.
Oh, it's coming.
Let's get it.
We are due.
All righty. All right. Isaac Tesla and the Lions. Then we got Jahad Barron and the Broncos. Jack Sawyer and the Steelers. Justin Herbert and the Chargers. Then we got Devonta Smith and the Raiders. Then we got Chris Boswell and the Steelers. And Luther Burden with the Bears. Malik Neighbors with the Giants. Jalen Noel and the Texans. Jordan Watkins and the Niners. Then we got Adam Thielen with the Panthers. RJ Harvey and the Broncos. Nick Sirianni with the Eagles. And then we got Tyler Shug with the Saints. Tet McMillan and the Panthers. Dalton Kincaid and the Bills. Trey Amos with the Commanders. Derrick Henry and the Ravens. Harold Fannin Jr. and the Browns. We got Harvey Jr. or RJ Harvey with the Broncos, and Justin Jefferson with the Vikings. Shadur Sanders and the Browns. Then we got Abdul Carter and the Giants. Mecca Ibuka with the Bucks. Got Jamian Sherwood with the Jets. Josh Connery Jr. and the Commanders. Mr. Hunter and the Rams, and Emeka Buka with the future from the Bucks. Sorry if that pack went off camera for a second. I went to wipe my face and I wasn't thinking about it. Stephon Diggs and the Patriots. Puka and the Rams. Brenton Strange and the Jags. We got Kyron Williams and the Rams. Then we got Tank Bigsby and the Jaguars. Lamar Jackson and the Ravens. And Jack Beck with the Raiders. Rashad Bateman and the Ravens. Then we got Kendre Lambert Smith and the Chargers. We got Rashad Shaheed and the Saints. Jameson Williams. And we got a Cooper Kupp multiverse. We will find out who gets that randomized after the end. Trey Harris and the Chargers, and Michael Penix Jr. and the Falcons. One second here. All right. Grab that. Move some cards here again. 1 second, everyone. All right. Jaden Daniels and the Commanders. Then we got Brian Thomas Jr. and the Jags. Luther Burden and the Bears. We got Terrence Ferguson and the Rams. George Pickens and the Cowboys. Kyle Williams and the Patriots. And Caleb Johnson with the Steelers. Jalen Milroe and the Seahawks. Javonte Williams and the Cowboys. Josiah Stewart and the Rams. Malachi Starks and the Ravens. Chris Godwin and the Bucks. Devontae Adams and the Rams. And Amari Hampton and the Chargers with the select certified. Jalen Milroe and the Seahawks. Javonte Williams and the Cowboys. Ollie Gordon and the Dolphins. Tua and the Dolphins. Then we got Russell Wilson with the multiverse. Seahawks and Giants. Then we got Tyler Loop and the Ravens. And Jamar Gibbs with the Lions. Benjamin Morrison and the Bucks. A-Train and the Dolphins. out Mr. Allen and the Jets. Then we got Omari Hampton and the Chargers. James Conner and the Cardinals. Omari Hampton and the Chargers. And Jamar Gibbs with the Lions. Turbocharged. Michael Penix Jr., the Falcons. Deebo Samuel and the Commanders. C.J. Stroud and the Texans. Then we got Terrell Owens and the Eagles. Shamir with the Titans. Alec Ailmanor with the Titans. And Travis Hunter with the Jags and the Select Certified. Last pack of the box. Trey Benson and the Cardinals. Ty Felton and the Vikings. Jacoby Myers and the Raiders. Chuba Hubbard and the Panthers. Matthew Golden and the Packers. Nick Scruton with the Panthers. And Mason Taylor with the Jets. All right, everyone. Second to last box. Guys, we're going to be running this right back, so stick around. Isaac Tesla and the Lions. Barron and the Broncos. Jack Sawyer and the Steelers. Alfred Collins and the Niners. Dylan Gabriel and the Browns. Savion Williams and the Packers. And Colston Loveland with the Bears.
The Bears.
Malik Neighbors, Giants. Jalen Noel, Texans. Dawson Knox with the Bills. Demetrius Knight Jr. and the Bengals. Got Cam Scantabo with the Giants. Jalen Royals with the Chiefs. And Jalen Walker with Atlanta. Did you,
Yep.
Tavian Henderson and the Patriots. And Terrence Ferguson with the Rams. We got Harrison Smith and the Vikings. Baker Mayfield and the Bucks. We got Nick Westbrook with the Multiverse. Cam Chancellor with the Seahawks. And George Kittle with the Niners. All right. Malachi Starks and the Ravens. Then we got Omari Hampton and the Chargers. Mitchell Evans with the Panthers. AJ Green and the Bengals. Will Campbell and the Patriots. Jalen Hurts and the Eagles. And Abdul Carter with the Giants. I'll move another stack of cards here. If you guys give me another second. Thank you all for being patient with me here. All right. Got Shamir with the Titans. Then we got Jared Goff and the Lions. Courtney Sutton and the Broncos. Tyler Shugg and the Saints. Chop Robinson and the Dolphins. Jonathan Taylor and the Colts. And Jaden Higgins with the Texans. You missed it. Caleb Johnson and the Steelers. And then we got Jackson Dart and the Giants. We got Christian Benford with the Bills. Amari Hampton and the Chargers. We got Cam Ward and the Titans with the pink. Cole Nett and the Bears. And Jaden Higgins with the Texans and the Select Certified. Guys, I'm really hoping that there is a zebra in this last box.
Magic.
We've had one in every case the last few times. We are running it back. Running it back. We'll do a recap. We'll do. All right, we got Saquon Barkley and the Eagles. Then we got Alec Pierce and the Colts. Rome Odunze with the Bears. We got Tony Pollard and the Titans. Yaya Black and the Steelers. Myles Garrett and the Browns. And Myles Garrett with the Browns again. Come on. Kareem Hunt and the Chiefs. Then we got James Pierce Jr. and the Falcons. Then we got Hunter Henry and the Patriots. He is 271 out of 399. 271 out of 399. Not bad.
Not a bad pull. $3.99.
All right, James Pierce Jr. and the Falcons. Jaden Daniels and the Commanders. Then we got Aaron Jones and the Vikings, along with TJ Watt and the Steelers. Tony Pollard and the Titans. Matthew Golden and the Packers. Travis Hunter and the Jags. Kareem Hunt and the Chiefs. Jaden Higgins and the Texans. Trey McBride and the Cardinals. And Tyler Warren and the Colts with the certified, or the select certified. All right, Ricky Pearsall with the Niners. Then we got Joe Burrow and the Bengals. Then we got Aiden Hutchinson and the Lions. We got Matthew Golden and the Packers. Billy Bowman Jr. and the Falcons. Alvin Kamara and the Saints. And Robinson with Atlanta. All right. Oh, there it is, guys. There it is.
In there?
Yep. I'm going to put that down. We're going to save that to the last. I was getting worried. All right. Jalen Lane and the Commanders. Then we got TJ and the Colts. We got David Carr and the Texans. Then we got Trey Harris and the Chargers. Jalen Lane and the Commanders. Tommy Millott with the Raiders. And Travis Hunter with the Jags and the Turbocharged. All right, everyone. Let's see. We're going to put that last like that. We got the zebra in this pack. Last pack. Jalen Waddle and the Dolphins. We got Omari Hampton and the Chargers. We got CeeDee Lamb and the Cowboys. Tyreek Hill and the Dolphins. We got Jalen Carter and the Eagles. What's that? All right. Brian Burns and the Giants. And the one we've been waiting for, Trey Harris and the Chargers.
Whoa.
Trey Harris and the rookie Chargers. Zebra. Whew.
That's a nice card.
Top loader here.
Mm-hmm.
All right. All right. Recap. Trey Harris and the Chargers here. Trey Harris and the Chargers. Then we got the Asante Samuel Jr. auto. We got the Jalen Lane auto with the Commanders. We got the Tommy Malott with the Raiders. It's 308 out of 399. We got Kyron Williams with the Rams. 392 out of 499. Jalen Walker with the Falcons. 33 out of 249. DK Metcalf and the Steelers. He is 37 out of 249.
Wow.
We got Travis Hunter and the Jaguars. 64 out of 699. Derek Harmon with the Steelers. 204 or 402 out of 699. Carson Swissinger with the Browns. He is 93 out of 699. Tyreek Williams with the Lions. 126 out of 699. Hunter Henry and the Patriots. 271 out of 399. We got Harrison Smith and the Vikings. 66 or number 6 out of 699. And then we got Fred Warner with the Niners, and he is 451 out of 699. Then we got Cooper Kupp. We'll find out who he goes to. Then we have Nick Westbrook. We got Russell Wilson. Then we got Trevor with the Swatch. We got, I was kind of off camera. Trevor with the Swatch. We got Terrence Ferguson with the Swatch. Omari Hampton. Bayshaw Tootin. Jackson Dart with the Swatch. Tet McMillan. And Darian Miller with the multiverse. Ben's gonna, well, let me see if I can't do it here. We're gonna random these 3 off here. Let me get to the computer mouse. We're gonna go to random.org. Okay. If you can see this here, we're gonna roll the dice. Did it do anything? Okay. For 4. We're gonna roll it for 4. And I guess we just need to do left and right here. One on the top.
You might want to name this.
1 or 2, 3, and 4. So it is the team on the left. So these few here go to the Giants. Darren Waller goes to the Giants. Then we got Russell Wilson, and he is going to the Seahawks. Nick Westbrook is going to the Dolphins, and Cooper Kupp is going to the Rams. All right, everyone. Thank you. We are running this right back. Running